Now go.
Hey everybody, Kent March from Explore Scientific. For the third time of the false starts, I think we have audio and off we go. Welcome to Monday when it's, how do you know? It's on August 29th. We're going to be talking about a fun toy, a couple of microscopes, and a way to rock your kids' world. Absolutely. So we have a chat function available.
So try to do this. My computer just dies.
Don't try and do it anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm working on it, trying to get it to go, but it does. It's like I've lost an entire video.
Might have to do with the entire downloading a terabyte of video from over the weekend, maybe. I don't know.
No, that was 3 terabytes.
3 terabytes. Interesting.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, we have before us this morning, this afternoon, whatever it is where you are, the Explore One Adventure Scope. The Explore One Adventure Scope is a kid's toy for like ages 6 and up. It is designed to look under, down in, through, behind stuff. Has a 2.31 LED screen, and a simple switch right here turns it on. And there's no batteries in here, so this one won't shine up. But the camera screen right here, or the camera lens right here, has LEDs around it, so it will light up dark places. This is a fun toy for kids to play with. Of course, one of the first things you're going to do is the first thing I did when I got one of these. I looked in my ear, and I looked up my nose, and I looked in my mouth. Start doing, kid stuff. That's what kids do. They explore, and they start generally, if they're like me, they start exploring, their ears with things like this. Always fun to see what's down, inside, under, behind stuff. This is the Explore One Adventure Scope. It's over in your carousel right now. Great little toy for a kid to use. It's also a tool. We sell these to some mechanics who, when they drop a screw down in like a car engine, they can't find it, they can go fishing down in there and find that screw and then know where to send their magnet to go pick up that screw and fish it out of the engine and not have to figure out what screw it is that's going to replace that screw. What can you do with this? You're limited by your imagination. The 27-inch flexible tube or flexible arm is great for looking, over behind stuff, down under stuff, inside of things, inside of jars, whatever. Behind couches, down in the recesses of a couch or sofa. Your mind is only limited by the creativity of the kid and where he wants to look with this device. It's a close focus, so it's not like you can, it's not going to be across the room in focus. It's only going to be a few inches are going to be in focus. I've actually used one of these myself when I was trying to diagnose what was wrong with a pump and managed to get it down in there and figure out that the port where the water comes in was clogged up. And then the challenge was getting it unclogged because it was a sealed unit, but by golly, I did it. And this led me to knowing where the location was and how to fix it. This is Explore One Adventure Scope over here in the carousel right now here on Amazon Live. If you're out there on Amazon Live, we'd love for you to give us a shout out. We enjoy talking with our customers and asking questions and answering customers who ask questions and then answering those questions. If you're on social media blast, you can also do some chats, and Paul will pass those along to us. One more time, the Explore One Adventure Scope has a 2.31 bright LCD screen, has a close focus camera right here, and in the housing around the camera, a series of LEDs that light up dark areas. Great for exploring behind couches, inside of things, all sorts of things you can do with this, and just, foster some interest and curiosity with a device like this. So now we're going to move on to something that's going to rock your kids' world. And this would be the Explore One rock tumbler set. And I have it all boxed up here. I'm just going to pull it all out and just plop it down here. It comes with directions that tells you what to do right here. Printed directions are in the box. But I'm just going to show you what it comes with. It comes with a bag of rocks. Every kid loves a bag of rocks. I love bags of rocks. And you can polish those up into these beautiful stones. And these are stones that came out of the kit, one of these kits that we have that we explored in the office. And right there you can see these beautiful stones. They were rough rocks that turned into these beautiful greens and yellows and whites and, what, magenta, red colored. And you can turn them into these beautiful stones. You learn a whole lot of things. You learn some manufacturing, a little bit of engineering. You learn how abrasive grit works and how you can accelerate the natural process, weathering process of stones into what would take hundreds or thousands of years. You can progress that down into something you can do in 7 days. You start with the aptly called Step 1 grinding powder. It's a high grit and begins the process of smoothing them down. You follow the directions as outlined in the directions, and then you move on to step 2. It's not quite so coarse and starts polishing better. Then you go to step 3 of the polishing powder, which this is like a really, really fine stuff. And then I'm not on the camera. And then you progress to almost this super fine powder that's a final polishing compound that you can use to turn into those beautiful rocks that you see right there on the video that's running right now. It's a real simple process. It just takes time. As you can see, it comes with some jewelry making kits, some chain, a keychain, setting holders, adjustable rings, earring wires, and a jump ring connector, all right here, so you can turn these beautiful stones and then make your own jewelry out of them. It's real simple to use. Comes with a 110 AC wall adapter that plugs into the back, and then simply remove the protective top, and then you can remove the polishing container right there. You drop in the rocks and you drop in the polishing compounds just like the directions tell you how to do it. And once they're in, you simply put the lid back on and plug it in. We don't have this, drop that back in, put the protective cover on that'll keep it in place, and you follow the directions on the buttons. You turn it on and you have three different speeds, 1, 2, and 4, and you follow the directions on how to do it. And after a couple of days, you switch them out and you put in a new polishing compound, and you just keep getting finer and finer and finer until you end up with, as we showed you at the start, these fantastic, beautiful stones, all sorts of different colors. I really like the green ones. Here's a black one that's nice. There's a green one. Here's one that's like almost amber colored right here. You can see right there these beautiful stones produced by the Explorer 1 rock tumbler set. All these rocks came out of one of the bags that came with one of these units, and we experimented with them, and that's what came out.
You want to put it in the garage?
Yeah, Paul notes that it is loudish, just a little bit. You're tumbling rocks, so if you've ever had, a car key or a rock or a bolt or something, I'm bad about leaving nuts and bolts in my pockets, and my wife misses them, or I miss them when I'm doing laundry, and then you get them in the dryer and they're clank, 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 bang, bang, bang. Imagine that with 15 or 20 or 100 rocks in this, and it's going to be very noisy. So you want to put it in a place where it's going to be safe and secure, but at the same time, not quite so noisy on your ears. Or you put it in your kids' room and let them learn the lesson of how noisy manufacturing processes can be. You might find out they can sleep through anything. This is the Explorer 1 rock tumbler set, a great little project for kids, and I don't remember what the age limit is, but the box will tell us somewhere ages 8 and up. This is good for ages 8 and up to learn about some geology, about manufacturing processes, about how grit can cause erosion, and how it can smooth rough stones into smooth rocks. That's something that if you go down to a river, you're going to find a whole lot of smooth rocks, and those rocks have been polished over ages and ages and eons, and they didn't start out as big, nice cobbles. They were rough rocks, but the polishing action of the river pushing them downstream and rubbing against each other over time created those into those smooth cobbles you see in many streams. Great little product here from Explore 1. You can pick it up over in the carousel right now. It's the featured item you see in the carousel. And if you're just joining us, thank you very much for giving us some of your time. We appreciate it very much. And if you're so moved, give us a shout out. Oh, here we go. A kiddo about 3 years old came in the Explore store and loved the Adventure Scope. That's from Annie Scarborough, one of the customer service people here. We have a store here in Northwest Arkansas. You can come in and look at all of our stuff. If you're ever coming through the region, we would love to have you. The kid came in the store and, as Annie said, loved the Adventure Scope. So I'm betting that Annie got him to walk out with an Adventure Scope.
Come in and meet Kent personally.
You can come in and meet Kent personally, and Scott Roberts and all the other staff here at Explore Scientific. Probably shouldn't talk about this too much because Amazon wants to keep Amazon people on Amazon, but you could always visit us 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and noon to 5 on Saturday, except major holidays and things. Once again,
Monday we're not here.
We will not be here Monday because it's a major holiday in the United States, Labor Day. So, any more people out there would love to give you a question, talk about one of the products we have or any other products we sell. We'll answer all your questions as best we can. So now, we've talked about rocks, and we're going to talk about rocks in a different way now. Let me move all this stuff off. And I've got rock dust now on my black tablecloth. It'll be all right. Now we're going to shift to some rocks again. This is the Explore 1 20 power binocular microscope. Now, when you say microscopes, the first thing you think of is prepared slides where light comes up through a very thin segment of a material and goes into the microscope, and you look in the microscope. This microscope is not like that. This microscope is a stereo microscope that is going to run. There you go. The video is going to show you. The stereo microscope has 2 eyepieces, so you see in stereo, and you get a sense of 3D because you're looking with 2 eyes that are apart, and it allows you to look at all sorts of things. And again, this is a low power microscope. This is 20x, and we'll show you here in a minute what 20x looks like with a penny. That gives you a really good reference, and we can do a B too. We could do a C if you had one, but I know all you have is a B. Wow. There's my dad joke for the day. And I'm going to tell you right now, this one little piece I want to look at, my big old fingers can't really pull it out, so I'm going to pull out my handy-dandy pocket knife that I carry with me everywhere except where I can't carry it, which these days is more and more, and, you know, there you go. It's a tool I use all the time. So this is a slice of phosphorite, and I'm just going to put it in there, and we've gone to black. There we go.
It's ornery.
It's being ornery. So putting this piece of phosphorite in there, we have an LED that shines down on top of it and gives you a great, and you can get it in focus in different areas. Just cool. I keep saying I'm going to have to get a smartphone out and take a picture of one. Here's a red rock. I'm going to fish this one out. But I could use my glasses to get that out of there. Come on out. There we go. Nope. There we go. All right, once again, the handy-dandy, trusty, old-timer pocket knife. This is my dad's pocket knife, and I carry it with me to remember him. And I guess one day I'll lose it. When it happens, it'll have run out of luck. So here's a piece of rock. I believe it's a piece of shale. It looks like a composite rock maybe, and it has some beautiful colors. It has blacks and whites and sort of some crystals in it and some salty looking stuff on it. Very cool looking. Very nice rock to look at. Interesting right there. Through the Explore 1 20 power binocular microscope. So here comes a picture of a Carpenter Bee we found dead out in the parking lot a few years ago. The Carpenter Bee is the size of a bumblebee, basically. and Paul's, it's fighting him. It's fighting him immensely today. The computer does not want to return to work on Monday.
I've been busy.
He says he's been busy. He was working on doing some, Tyler did some time-lapse astrophotography over the weekend and loaded up 3 terabytes of video over, what, 3 or 4 hours?
No, about 15, 10 minutes.
15 minutes, 3 terabytes. It's a real high-resolution camera.
Red camera.
Yes.
You can get on Amazon, actually.
So anyway, if you're out there with us watching right now, we'd love for you to give us a shout-out. Tell us you're there and give us a howdy. Ask a question. And if you haven't done so already, click that follow button. So here we go. Here pops up the close-up of a 20 power of a Think Bumblebee. So you're looking at the eye on both sides and maybe the nostrils. And as you focus through, you can see the hairs go through. Now, this picture was just taken with a smartphone held up to the eyepiece of one of these. We also have a penny, an American copper. Once upon a time, it was copper. Now it's nickel and an alloy of stuff. You're going to see the penny come up, and it's going to show you. You can't find the penny? The penny? It's the lucky penny. It's the lucky penny. There you go. So basically, when you see Abraham Lincoln, you're seeing basically his head, and that's all you can see, giving you an idea of what 20 power looks like. It's a really nice profile shot that you can see. And it's the nice part about the binocular view is it gives you that 3-dimension, right? You're seeing in 3 dimensions, just like you can tell depth because you're using your 2 eyes. Well, you're using your 2 eyes here, this binocular, in addition to having a nice focus stand and the LED light that illuminates it from the top, you can change the interpupillary distance to match what your eyes see. So in addition to the rock set that it comes with, it also comes with a set of slides that you can look at from the top. And my favorite is to look at the slide that's labeled Stubenfliege Kopf Total. Stubenfliege. That would be German for fly head. And we can put the fly head right there. And it does have clips we can put under the slide or just move them out of the way because we're not going to be jiggling around. And this is more than just a fly head. This is a whole stinking fly's body right here. Get my interpupillary distance set.
You're going to stick a camera in there.
I don't know. One of these days we need to. So there we go. There's the fly head right there. You can see my fingerprints on it. So I'm going to clean the slide off a little bit. There we go. Much better. You can see through its body. You can see hairs. You can see the wings. You can see mouth parts. It's just really cool. I'm going to flip it over and see what the other side looks like. I don't think this is a slide. This is a squished fly in there. Very cool to look at, examine the body parts and how things fit together. This is the Explorer 1 20 power microscope from Explore Scientific, one of the popular microscopes that we sell here. I would have loved to have had this microscope when I was a kid to take out and look at things, butterfly wings and flies and worms and just everything out, leaves, rocks, whatever, just to look at them and explore the natural world around me. That's what this microscope is good for, the Explorer 1 20x microscope. This really gives a fine view of the natural world around you. And that's what microscopes often are good for when you start. Did you find le penny? He found the penny. So I love the penny. The penny gives you a really good idea of what the magnification is of the... Yeah, the bee is cool because you can see the hairs and the compound eyes, all the detail in the compound eyes and little pits that I assume are sensory organs in their face. And there you go. You can see old Abraham Lincoln's face right there on that 2002, if I remember, 2020 penny. Right there it is. So you have a great idea. It's a 2020D. If you don't know coins, what does that D mean? That D means it was minted at the Denver Mint.
It's the coin.
It's D coin, exactly. So
The bears.
Gives you a great idea of what the Explorer 1 20x microscope can do. The bears, from Dust Saturday Night to Live.
Yeah.
Yep.
Made everybody have a heart attack by the end of the.
Yep. The bears. Back when Saturday Night Live was really funny, as opposed to. It was, I think it's every generation has its own idea of funny, and boy, back in the 70s, it was boy funny. So anyway.
Yeah, but the Bears was not 70s. That was like 90s. It was the 90s.
No, it was in the 80s.
No, it's Chris Farley. Chris Farley was one of the guys going, the Bears.
The Bears. Chris
Farley,
Farley
man.
was a character. Most assuredly. All right, so what we have here is, I'll show you the hard carry case. This is the Discovery 900X Biologic Microscope. Now, this microscope is one where you look at really thin slices of stuff. So they're called prepared slides, and they've been sliced really, really thin so light goes through them, so you can see the internal parts of the cells. And right now you have a video showing you what comes with the kit a little bit, and there's the dyes and the sea salt and the brine shrimp. There's the prepared slides that it comes with. It also comes with some blank slides that you can use to make your own. There's the turret, or the filter wheel under the turret. And there we go. Nice hard carrying case so you can make sure, or your kid can make sure, that they keep their stuff together. Great for traveling with, great for keeping the kit and pieces together as you use the Discovery 900X microscope. Great show, Kent. Does Explorer Scientific sell the shirt you're wearing? Really like it. That's from Egon. Egon, we don't sell the shirt with the embroidery on it. We've talked about it because there has been people who ask for it. Generally, the shirt's in the carousel. I don't think it's over there, but we might be able to get that shirt over there. We'll see if...
What's it called?
The Habit River shirt. So, love it. Like this shirt a lot. It's nice and loose. Has a vented back, which is really nice in the summertime. In the wintertime, you wear a jacket and it doesn't really matter that much.
You get a long sleeve one.
But they have long-sleeved ones. Habit has a whole bunch of brands or kinds of shirts out there. But yeah, this is the river shirt from Habit. We'll get it up in the carousel.
I don't know if it's the right one or not, but there it is.
Did you get it up? Yeah, close enough. My son has that color shirt. I don't have that color shirt. But it's the embroidery, somebody wanted one, they could contact customer service, and I don't know, we could probably figure out a way to get it embroidered if you want to pay for that.
You buy it from Amazon and ship it to us.
Yeah, you have to buy it from Amazon and ship it to us, is what you'd have to do. And but we could get it embroidered here because we have the setup and you wouldn't have to pay the setup fee. We could probably work out something like that. We try to be flexible. So anyway, this Discovery Biologic Microscope, I'm going to show you what comes with the kit first. It is super comfortable, Egon. I love this shirt. It's nice and loose and free, and it's just no binding. It's a really nice shirt. It's a fishing shirt, so that's why it's loose and outdoors. But I wear one of these pretty well all the time, either this or now maybe a work shirt. But I've got some light colored ones for summer duty outside, and the darker ones I save for working inside because I don't like being out in the hot sun in a dark color. It just makes it worse. All right, so it comes with a hatchery. What do you hatch in the hatchery? Well, you hatch the brine shrimp eggs, which are not right here. That's the sea salt. You hatch the brine shrimp eggs, which look just basically like a powder almost. But the cool thing about it is when you put them in water, in salt water, they hatch out. Now, brine shrimp eggs are very, very sturdy and long-lasting. They can go for long, decades. And basically a suspended animation, and you get them wet and off they go, and you start growing brine shrimp. I grew up knowing these as sea monkeys, and they had a little sea monkey family in all the ads in Boys Life magazine specifically. And boy, I wanted them. My dad was like, we're not wasting money on those things.
Push forward.
Push forward. There we go.
All the way to the edge.
All the way to the edge. So I'm going to have to stand sideways
There
then.
you go.
Okay, so I wish my dad to this day would have bought them so I could experience the fun of growing my own sea monkey family and discovering what was really going on with the sea monkeys and what they were. There's a lot of science to learn there. This has a downloadable experiment book, and so you can download the experiments you can do with this kit, and it gives you other experiment ideas as well. That's the hatchery. This little tool right here, and I'm not going to pop it out, is a tool that allows you to make your own biologic samples. So you could freeze things and dip them in wax, go through it. It has red and blue food dye, beakers, stuff like that. The microscope, and I'm getting the stop sign, but I'm going to go through the microscope just real quick here since we started a little bit late. Microscope has a LED light that comes on right there to illuminate through the stage. When you're using a microscope, always start on the lowest power, which is going to be, if you look in there, it's going to be the shortest lens in what's called the turret, right? This is the turret, this is the stage. So the light is shining up through a hole in the stage. In a filter, I got no filters, it's just a hole. And then on this microscope, you put the slide down under here and focus and get in there easy, crank it all the way up, put the slide in, get it centered up. Now focus all the way down, and this microscope is going to come to focus about right there, almost barely not turn it. A 32nd of a turn or something, just real small turn, is going to make this come into focus, and then you can start studying the subject you're looking at. After you get to that power, you can increase the power, which is going to make it darker, and now you're going to have to refocus. And then you can go up to 900 power. It starts 100, goes to 400, ends up 400, ends up at 900, and there you go. So that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I appreciate everybody joining us, and thanks for the questions out there, and Annie's comment and Egon's comment about the shirt. I love the shirt very much. I love the gear. I love my job. I love selling stuff to people. I love doing kids things that bring wonder and curiosity to those little developing minds who will learn so much from all of these Explore Scientific specially branded objects. On behalf of Paul Newton over in the control center where he's been fighting his computer all day, and Noah Menard, who keeps the website for Amazon and other platforms up and running. We call him Marketplace Menard, and he's looking at me. Give me a wave, Noah. Yeah, hi guys, Noah says. We appreciate it very much. And everybody else here at Explore Scientific, they'll wish you well. Have a great week. We'll be back at 3 o'clock every day this week with shows. And until tomorrow, stay safe. And as, your favorite Horkheimer said, keep looking up. I'm Kent Martz with Explore Scientific. Bye-bye.